of two damaging defeats, and head coach Mark Robbins has opted for 3 changes to the side which succumbed to Sheffield United. Part of the process is to try and match up with Derby, who are familiar in that wing-back system with 3 centre-halves. Sometimes coaches are tempted to do it even if they're not used to that.
Yep, I think it's a perfect match-up, isn't it? A 3-5-2. I think that's what both the basic formation for both teams is. To see.
Well, there are a whole stack of different permutations, but the simple thing to bear in mind is today's winner will definitely stay up. A draw for Stoke, and they were clear and safe, and then all of a sudden, Leeds and Sheffield in play. Remember, they'll all be kicking off at the same time, and all the referees will do what they can to ensure they kick off the second half.
I don't know if it was Stoke City supporters or Derby County supporters. Could have been both.
Phillips heads it away. Towards Hamadi.
Disappointed with Derby's approach so far. Back behind the ball and not putting pressure.
Really translated it to the pitch. Here's Bay. He's busy. Opportunity for Harness to drive forward. Nothing of late after the injury to the #1 Zetterstrom. Baker towards Bay. There's a few eyebrows when he swapped Blackburn's promotion push for a relegation battle, but he has moved nearer to his home.
Straight pass across to the goalkeeper that went out for a corner. That was ridiculous defending there from Ben Wilmot. I think he's actually prodding it in terms of he expecting a tackle, and he ends up just thumping right across his own 6-yard box.
Player, contract coming to an end, and he's at the far post, and the other wing back sets him up.
Yeah, I think this is what John Eustace needs.
As it stands, I keep saying those words because it will change in the remaining 70. The goal that these sets of supporters did not want to hear.
It's extremely difficult. I totally understand that. Been involved in relegation last game, deciders as a player and a coach. But it's really important.
Neither scored nor won in their last 2 home games, which is a worrying statistic, especially with that big goal for Hull City down at Fratton Park.
The draw from the start of the game, playing the way to Stoke up. Imagine if it's a draw with 5 minutes to go, 10 minutes to go. Derby need to get the win. The other results are going.
The leg of morale is Al-Hamadi. Now Bay. Hawthorns. One of these 2 teams
worthy of a straight yellow card. That offence alone.
Especially in this division. Only about a fortnight ago where all teams in the Championship means they're all right.
The emotions between the 2 managers, they must know what's going on. They're trying to
with Hansen. Badly mishit. Still reaches Bay somehow. Good tackle by Langer.
3 central defenders.
Baker. Yates was battling. Put away by Berger. And now it breaks for Bay. It's not a bad ball either, and Gallagher tries, the little cameos he's played for the first team at Everton. They've seen enough to believe he can be a Premier League footballer.
He's action in the first 45 minutes, and obviously goalkeepers forced into much more meaningful.
Goal intact. Glanced on by Phillips. Strong, looking for his 2nd goal as a Derby player since he joined on.
Really good play, careless play from Derby to give the ball away, but
here's Bay. And this time it's the Derby throw.
The 3rd corner.
Chance for a while. Here's Bay. Just getting the sense that Stoke at the wrong end of the Championship table. Chance a long time still to play, 35 minutes or thereabouts. He's wondered if he'd been fouled. Ways play on. Here's Bay. Just his footer, just as he was about to deliver, then gets to his feet quickly enough. going down. So that is why the Stoke City supporters were suddenly going wild away to the right-hand side. But the reality is that because of the events at the Hawthorns, these two teams now know that 0-0.
It's going to be a rebuild, but sometimes clubs have to do that step by step.
Celebrate for sure. They will be in the Championship again next season.
The last win of the season.
Baker. Rotations, and there's not one team in the bottom 8 of the divisions to play. Luan onto Bay. It's
The nature of the game today, because it hasn't been that tidy image. The yellow card there for the foul on Bay.
There's been a lot more bookings than goal-mouth opportunity.
Quite astonishing, actually.
Absolutely. Well, Yates can't believe that he hasn't scored, but he didn't. Phillips with the dramatic attempt, probably the hardest of the 3 chances, really. And in the midst of all that was a really good save by Johansson. So both managers are now making changes. Thompson has just made way for Derby. And actually, Jerry Yates is another. So he could have